Welcome to the Municipal Voice, CCM's radio podcast in collaboration with WNHH 103.5 FM, connecting Connecticut's municipalities. We're your source for news in the municipal level across the state of Connecticut. I'm your host, Matt Ford. Be sure to like this video and let us know what you think in the comments below. In the studio with us today is Sarah Beard, the Director of Clinical Services for the Parent-Child Resource Center. And on the phone, we have Michael Askew, Director of Recovery Advocacy for the Connecticut Community for Addiction Recovery. They are both participating in the CCM Connecticut Charity Triple Crown event, which will be taking place on Friday, May 10th at 5:30 p.m. at the Hartford Club. Please visit ccm.ct.org/triple crown, CT Triple Crown for more information. Thank you, Sarah, for coming on the show today. Just the other week, we came out to visit you in Derby, filming one of our CCM chats at the Parent-Child Resource Center. We talked then. We can talk a bit more. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you do at the Parent-Child Resource Center?
Sure. The Parent-Child Resource Center is a division of BH Care, and we're a state-licensed child guidance clinic specializing in the treatment of children with severe emotional and behavioral health issues.
Okay, and is that just in Derby, or what kind of area do you cover?
So we cover all of the lower Naugatuck Valley. We don't actually have a catchment area, so we have people all across the region that come to our center for treatment.
Excellent. Michael, we have you there on the phone?
I am here.
Hey, Michael. So I understand you're up at the Capitol just before this, right?
I was just a minute ago.
And what was going on over there?
Well, today is the Alliance Advocacy Alliance Day at the LOB.
Oh, okay.
There's a Judiciary Committee meeting that they're starting to do votes on bills. And there's a couple other hearings that's going on.
So a big day at the Capitol for some nonprofits.
Big day. A lot of people there.
So you are also going to be part of the Connecticut Triple Crown. Can you tell us about your organization and what you guys do?
Well, thanks for allowing us to be one of the Triple Crown winners and
certainly
be a recipient. And certainly congratulations to Sarah as well and the Parent-Child Resource Center. What CCAR is a recovery community that helps organize the recovery community and its ability to care. Like myself, I'm a person in long-term recovery, which means that I haven't used drugs and alcohol since May 28, 1989.
Congratulations.
And CCAR was built on the foundation of putting a face to recovery so that we can eliminate stigma and allow the recovery community to be able to be cared for in decision-making and funding and all the things that's necessary for one to be able to access recovery, maintain recovery, and sustain recovery. So CCAR has been instrumental over the last 20 years of building and growing a recovery community through our recovery community centers and some of the initiatives that we've put forth to across the state to really have the recovery community have a place where they can take ownership and grow and become viable model citizens. Yes.
Excellent. Let's go back to Sarah for a second. What kind of programs does PCRC offer, and are they different between younger children and adolescents and teens like you?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we treat children from birth to actually age 18. We have a wide variety of programs. In our child guidance clinic, we service kids from 4 to 18, and with that, it's individual therapy, family therapy, parent guidance. These are kids that we're seeing that have any host of issues from anxiety, depression, conduct, trauma. So we also offer an intensive outpatient program. Those are for kids ages 6 to 18. They typically have more significant issues going on. So it's looking like it's a step down from a hospitalization, or we're trying to divert a hospitalization. And that's group therapy. They come 5 days a week.
And do the parents bring them in for this usually, or do schools refer you? Like, how does
hospitals, schools, Department of Children and Families,
so
self-referral. We get referrals from all over, you know, the area, Fairfield County, New Haven County. So those are the clinical services that we have. And then we also have an early childhood consultation partnership program, which is for like little guys and girls in nursery school, daycare settings that we do consultation with. We also have in-home services, Child First, which is another clinical in-home service for birth to 6 for really focusing on nurturance and attachment with parents and caregivers.
It's the parent-child, so that's the parent component.
Yeah, you know, we really focus on parent engagement. You know, that's key if we're trying to make differences
especially
with children.
With that youngest age group there, it sounds like.
Yeah, you know, they say, you know, research shows that the literature, you really want to capture that birth to 3, getting caregivers, parents, really giving the nurturance and attention to the needs of their children. And there'll be less issues later on in life.
Yep, that's important stuff. Michael, let's talk to you again a little bit about what Connecticut Community for Addiction Recovery. They approach recovery differently than a lot of other recovery organizations. You don't have like one method, one set way to do things. It's kind of whatever works for that person. Can you tell me more about how your approach at CCAR for those sort of things?
Yeah, so our approach is a holistic approach. We look at supporting individuals 18 and older with being able to connect them and support them in any concerns or issues or any type of supports that they would need to become full and gain fulfillment in life. And so our concept is, like you said, we meet people where they're at and we ask them where they'd like to be. And we try to push them in that direction with a lot of the initiatives that we've developed over the years. We have in our recovery community centers around the state, state-of-the-art facilities that anyone can walk in, get referred to services outside of the center or get support in the center with initiatives like all recovery meetings. We have our CCAR recovery training series of educational seminars and workshops. We have telephone recovery support, which is an initiative that volunteers get trained to call individuals that have signed up saying, yes, part of my recovery, I would like someone to
check in on me and see how I'm doing
for 12 weeks. We have recovery coaching in our centers where individuals get trained to go to our Recovery Coach Academy, which is a premier training center in America. And this is where we developed 10 years ago the Recovery Coach model, which is now recognized internationally.
Okay, so you guys developed it and it's been copied elsewhere.
It has been copied all over the world.
That's great.
But one of the things is that we breed coaches in our centers, and now our centers are being engaged in getting people out into communities that are willing to hire coaches outside of the norm in places where at one point recovery wasn't mentioned, but now it's essential. But one of the facets that we do is advocating. We're back to our motherhood, where we started years ago as an advocacy organization.
Yeah.
So I've been promoted to Director of Recovery Advocacy, and over the last 3 months have really started to make platform for the voice of recovery, not only in the local communities, the statewide events that we've had, including the LOB, Legislative Office Building, but also we're going to look at internationally and nationally, putting our voice out there and advocating for the concerns and issues of the recovering community. We also have highlighted some high-end events that we have, and we can talk more about that. But
certainly the Triple Crown event.
Multiple pathways of recovery is that concept that one size doesn't fit all. So we want to expose the opportunity for people to understand there's more than one pathway to maintain and sustain a recovery.
Yeah, it's the goal that's the important, not necessarily how you get there.
Yes.
Sarah, so Michael was just talking about how they train a lot of volunteers and stuff. I understand that you guys have an internship program going on?
Yes, we have an internship program that goes on actually fall through the summer. We have anywhere from 15 to 20 interns that we take each year, bachelor level, master's level program. And, it's kind of our way of giving back to the community and also kind of keeping our skills fresh. It's great to have new social workers in the field and kind of, guiding them along the way. And they do hands-on. They work with clients. They help in our intensive outpatient program. We actually just started a new program, hearing Michael talk about recovery, Today's Choices, which is a program for adolescents with at-risk behaviors, and it does have a substance use component.
Yeah,
so,
that's interesting. When Michael, obviously, you're the Parent-Child Resource Center, and they're the community for addiction recovery, addiction recovery. Two separate kind of organizations with separate missions, but at the same time, it seems like there is some overlap there in you're up to 18, and they're dealing with addiction problems for people over 18, but I imagine that as you said, with some of the at-risk.
Sure, yeah.
One of those risks is addiction, and some of these people might, without your program, might end up in Michael's program in the future.
Exactly. That's the idea, is to start, early with some of these 13, 14-year-olds
Yeah.
we're starting to use, and kind of, just kind of experimenting.
Yeah. Michael, what's your thoughts on that, like starting younger?
I think it also has the opportunity to educate and support not only families but individuals and the people that are affected by a loved one that's really going through difficult times, whether it's substance use or other issues that can come up with a mental health issue.
Yeah, and I imagine that a lot of, the people that you work with at CCAR are in fact parents.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which has to have an effect on the kids. So there's,
yes,
there is some back and forth between these two worlds, certainly.
Yes, it is. We also have a young adults and family program that, Yolanda Askew does down in Derby, where we also look at how we support the parents, and they have a parent support group there as well.
Right. Yeah. And it kind of ties into, we also have a parenting support service program.
Okay.
So that helps, with parenting skills. We have a host of parents, from all walks, some that are in recovery, some that have their own mental health, and really, they just need some support. So we have parent educators that actually go in the home and provide those services.
Well, excellent. I'm going to pause for a moment now to do a station ID. You are listening to the Municipal Voice on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and newhavenindependent.org. We're also streaming live on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/newhavenindependent or go to the CCM webpage. No, we're going to keep going. That's Chris on the boards. So one of the main reasons we have both of you together today, other than your great organizations, is you are both participating in the Connecticut Triple Crown event that we are throwing. I'll start with Sarah. What are you excited about for the Triple Crown?
Well, I'm just excited to get, the Parent-Child Resource Center services, what we do, talk about, all that we do, and get that out there. Yeah. I think it's so important to have these conversations and to let folks know all of the services we have, because, when people are in a crisis, they really can't navigate this. So it's important, I think, to have these conversations and talk more openly about what's out there for everyone.
And the service that, and yeah, that is, I guess, one aspect of it is we are raising money. In last year's event, we raised almost $40,000 or $13,000 for each organization of the three. And last year we had the Channels 3 Kids Camp. We had the Homes for the Brave, and which does veterans housing. And we had the Village that was doing behavioral health and support service for children and adults. So there's a lot of opportunity out there to raise money for these great charities, including Michael's organization, CCAR. Michael, what are you looking forward to for the Connecticut Triple Crown charity?
Well, I like I said, we're so honored to be part of the opportunity, and certainly Sarah's kind of hit it on the head, where we just would like to share our exposure of what we do and the importance of how it affects others in our community. So with the opportunity to be part of the Triple Crown, we want to just share some of the initiatives that we do. And, I think one of the things that the community doesn't really recognize is the magnitude of work that goes into helping communities through nonprofits like us, and the many people that give of themselves, the passion that goes along with, what we do. One of the things that I wanted to comment on was we have, over the last 2 years, from February 2017 up until just this year, have introduced the Recovery Coach Emergency Department program at CCAR. Because of the opioid crisis, we've seen a lot of support in the emergency department with our coaches, where they go in and support individuals from overdose to connect them to treatment and resources and supports once they are released. We've seen an impact in the number of people that have been able to walk out of the emergency department and go straight into a treatment program. And so this unique opportunity has been supported by not only the state but the federal government with some statewide opioid response grants. Yep. And one in particular was Senator Murphy provided an opportunity where we sat with him and drafted some legislation which passed last year, which is the Recovery Coach Act, which will provide all states with some funding to place recovery coaches in the emergency department settings. What a great opportunity we had in helping Senator Murphy with that opportunity.
That sounds like that is a great opportunity.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's terrific. Everyone trying to pitch in to get some good stuff done in Connecticut. For the people listening at home, wondering a little bit more about the Triple Crown. I mean, obviously you've heard we have some terrific organizations that will benefit from this, but from the participant end, it should be a lot of fun too. You know, we're going to learn about these organizations, but we're going to do it while participating in a Triple Crown racing themed event. That's going to include something. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's at the Hartford Club on May 10th. So there's going to be lots of prize packages, silent auctions, a lot of groups in the community, a lot of businesses have donated to this too. So it's people coming and buying tickets and spending money, but also these businesses have participated giving prizes. So sometimes we get some bigger ones. We have big fancy door prizes, but there's also smaller businesses give us things which we group together in packages. So you could get a donut trail prize where we get certificates from individual little locally owned donut shops, and so you can see all that Connecticut has to offer in that way. So it doesn't have to be the big ticket item necessarily. There's a pet package with treats and toys and food for your dog. So
Oh, wow.
there's a lot of opportunities to get fun prizes. And I will mention that May 10th, when we're doing this, is 2 days before Mother's Day, and we will have the prizes on hand there. So if you win something, just saying, you could give it to Mom for Mother's Day. Yeah, right. And then,
I like the part where we can come out and dressed up like we're going to a Triple Crown.
Oh yeah, we do encourage for this event people to come in full derby attire. Ladies with the fascinator hats, I believe they're called, the big fancy hats with the extra things on them. The guys in a seersucker suit, maybe, if they're feeling extra dapper that day. So all out fun for great causes.
No, it sounds great. Michael, in our field, we talk a lot about self-care, so it sounds like a self-care night.
Yeah, treat yourself good. You could also win spa packages, kayak and paddle boat rentals, dance lessons. So, there's kind of more fun, datey kind of stuff too, if you don't want to give it to your mom for Mother's Day. There's brewery packages. Oh, our producer wants to know there's going to be an Apple Watch.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
So how do we and Sarah and some of the other family and constituents and colleagues of us promote this so that we can really get the word out?
I would recommend going on social media, checking out the event on Facebook. You can share that to your Facebook pages. You can certainly share this show on all social media. Yeah. Check us out after the show's done. The show will be on YouTube. It'll be on Facebook, so that can be shared around. Please, everyone, spread the word as much as possible about the Triple Crown in Hartford on May 10th.
And you said it's the New Haven Independent.
So you can find out information from CCM at our website, which is ccm-ct.org, and you go right on our homepage and you'll find more information about the Triple Crown. So we're starting to wrap it up here, but kind of final messages from Sarah. If you got the voice right now, you're speaking to Connecticut and to our municipal leaders, certainly. What one message would you have about what needs to happen in Connecticut for organizations like you?
Well, funding is a big part of it. There's just not enough of children's services out there right now to meet the needs of all the kids we see. And I think too, just getting the word out, and kind of getting rid of the stigma of mental health, and that, if a parent or guardian has a struggle, a child who's struggling, to please just, reach out to us. And I think so often people get discouraged by things that are going on in their lives. And I am always feeling that it's a privilege for me to have this position and to really try to inspire hope in families and children.
Great. So, Michael, same to you. What's your parting message to the listenership about what you'd like to see done in Connecticut?
Well, of course, funding is certainly at the top priority. I think, from the beginning, CCAR has helped to try to eliminate stigma by putting a face on recovery so that people can support individuals in this troubled times that they go through. Because I, like myself, was a person 30 years ago lost in alcohol and substance use, but certainly somebody believed in me. So I hope that people will take away that still believe in that individual because, we don't want to make this look like a modality or a moral deficiency, but
Yeah.
also I want people to treat this as a disease.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to die from drug addiction. So just have some passion and empathy for those that are still struggling and give them hope. Share with them an opportunity that you can be a difference in their lives.
I think that's an important message for all walks of life, really. Well,
Absolutely.
I'd like to thank Michael and Sarah for being on the show today.
Oh,
And I want to remind
you.
you that they're both
Thank
here
you.
because they're going to be participating in the Connecticut Triple Crown Friday, May 10th at 5:30 p.m. at the Hartford Club. The public is welcome to come, so you can go on ccm-ct.org and buy tickets. I'd like to thank Sarah Beard for joining us. The Municipal Voice is a co-production by CCM WNHH 103.5 FM. Kevin Williams is our executive producer. Christopher Gilson is our producer. Harry Draws is on the boards, and I'm Matt Ford, your host. We had one other charity that's going to be part of the night, Journey Home, and we're going to close out with a short video explaining what they do there. See you in the next show. Today on CCM Chats, we're in the city of Hartford to speak with Sarah Salomon at Journey Home about her organization's efforts on behalf of the homeless population of Connecticut. What can you tell us about the mission of your organization?
We are here to help end homelessness in the greater Hartford and greater New Britain region. But the way that we do it is we do it through system change work. So what we do is we support all of the housing and shelter providers in the region. And we make sure that their system is working well. And so we provide training, data, technical support, oversight. We convene all of the meetings that need to happen. And so because of our work, we've been able to streamline the homeless system. For years, it was very scattered. Everybody was working in their own silos. And when we came along, what we did was we helped bring everybody together, put all of the players at the same table, and start to talk about how we can create one entry point into homelessness and one exit point from homelessness into housing. So we manage and coordinate all of that. So we're essentially a backbone agency for all of the housing.
For all these other agencies.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of an umbrella that provides logistical support and broader strategy.
Right. We do that, and then we've also added other programs along the way. So,
like, what are some of the other programs?
Well, what has happened because of these, when we convene these meetings and bring all of the players to the table, the people who are actually doing the work of homelessness and housing, more often than not, some idea comes up in these meetings about maybe a system gap. And if we had this, then maybe we could get people into housing quicker. So we listen to that, and then what we do is we seek out grant funding to make that possible. So I'll give you an example of a new position that we have here. It's our housing locator. Because what we kept hearing from the community was the biggest barrier to housing is finding landlords who rent to this particular population. We kept hearing that over and over and over again. So what we did is we said, well, we want to fix that for the community. So we hired a person, full-time person, who builds relationships with the landlords in the region and creates an opportunity for more housing availability for the population.
We're here talking today, among other reasons, because you're going to be part of this year's Triple Crown celebration and charity event that we're doing. What are you looking forward to at the CCM Charity Triple Crown?
I think, the biggest thing for us is, we love community partnerships. That's really what we're all about. That's our whole mission. And so it's another opportunity to work collaboratively and with other organizations. So that's exciting. And I think the visibility is really important.
Join us on May 10th to help support this organization and others at the Connecticut Charity Triple Crown.